Alright, you got me. I didn't make a comic book in 7 days. I did it in 6.
Yeah! Yeah!
I gave myself this challenge after hearing about so many older comics having to be drawn in a week so that they could keep up with demand, and I wondered, hey, could I do that? I decided to make things extra fun, and I also decided not even to write the script until my week had started either. To be clear, I had the characters and some of the story thought out, and the 2 main characters I had drawn a few times in older sketchbooks, but other than that, everything you see here was done in 1 week. Or 6 days, because I'm super cool. My plan was to keep most of the individual parts of the job separated into certain days, so script, sketching, line art detailing, and word adding. My original goal was to do most of the jobs all on the same day, leaving the last 2 for extra work I might have needed to do. With the rules laid out, I set to work on Monday writing the script. Originally, I wanted to write about 4 to 5 pages of script maximum. And after about 5 hours of writing, I was left with 9 pages I would need to draw. But that was a problem for future Maddie. Monday's work was done, and with ample time left for that day, so I went to bed early, nervous but eager for the amount of work I would have to sketch on the next day. Tuesday I woke up and got right to work on the sketches. I like doing sketch work because it's very forgiving, and if you mess up you can just erase it and keep moving forward. But as the hours stretched onward, the day quickly became night. I soon realized that trying to draw all 9 pages of script would be basically impossible. Though, try as I might, I decided to cut 5 of the 9 pages in order to keep my schedule. They weren't cut as much as they were divided into 3 separate parts, so when I continue the story, we'll see these pages. The decision to cut the extra pages was actually a great idea for trying to keep the story closer to a production of an older comic book, and it left me more time to work on the characters and the background details. Most comic books are 32 pages, and 10 of those pages being just advertisements. Speaking of advertisements, I have one for everyone here! What's the matter, April? I have the biggest crush on Mike, but I don't know how to tell him! That's easy. Give him a Dr. Pupper. He'll love you for life. You were so right, Sammy. Chase the love. Does not actually get you dates. Wednesday was probably one of the worst workflow days of the week. I felt like I needed to take a break, but I didn't, and as a result, not much work was accomplished. I remember going to bed Tuesday night feeling very confident that I would finish the line work in a day, and when I woke up on Wednesday, I actually decided to add a few extra pages, which I did, and as a result, the comic does look a lot more finished rather than it just being a few pages ripped out from a book. My wrist was also starting to hurt pretty bad, and I tend to get some pretty intense carpal tunnel when I've been gripping a pen for hours at a time. I feel like most of you guys deal with the same problem. What's your best remedy for that, other than just stopping? I tend to get extra hyperfixation on projects, and I really can't stop. It's like knowing you're on a bullet train and being scared, but not enough that you want to leave. Anyways, I did not end up finishing the line art as I would have wanted to Wednesday. I ended that day having only inked 3 pages of the 21. Thursday was another low-maintenance day. I was just supposed to finish the line art for the rest of the pages. I also went to bed that night, only having inked 7, which was better than Wednesday, but the line art was seriously putting me off schedule. If I learned anything from this project, it's that I take triple the amount of time for my line art than I do for the sketch art. My wrist was also not having it Thursday, and my hands were getting extra shaky from gripping the pen so tightly, so as to not mess up the line art. Then I would grip the pen tighter, trying to focus more, and it would just continue on, repeating that stupid cycle. Friday, I finally was able to complete the last 11 pages of line art. All the issues I had been having the previous days were still present, but now with the looming deadline, I knew I had to work rapidly faster than I had been, and I managed to bust out the rest of the pages. Another thing I started to do was abandon certain panels I was struggling on. I would come back to them much like back in high school when your teacher would tell you to just move on from a difficult test question and get back to it later. This proved to be the best thing for me to do at the time, and this was the reason I was able to get substantially more accomplished, though I was still up later than I would have wanted to completing it all. This left Saturday for me to do all of the detail work and filling all of the text bubbles. And I don't know about y'all, but I absolutely suck at spelling. So that was another thing I just left till the end and focused on the detailing work for the panels. With the detailing work, I mostly mean just adding words to posters, shading shirts. One of my main characters has dyed hair, so I had to add that in too. But most importantly, the backgrounds. I love drawing backgrounds for pictures, so this was the fun part for me. I know, I'm a sociopath. I wanted the feel of my comic to be very Gilmore Girls, small town, fall, comfy, cozy. I wanted everything to feel as if it were lived in. I want the reader to want to go to the place where the comic takes place, if that makes sense. I think adding all the extra details really brought the whole thing together, and I'm really happy with the final version. Then there is adding the words, which I hated. Hands down, least favorite part of the project. Overall, I'm completely happy with how my comic Puppy Love turned out. I think I would try this challenge again, but I would see about getting someone else to do the words, because I simply cannot spell, and it was my least favorite thing to do out of the entire project. Another reason I would do it again is because now that I have a frame of reference for how much time I need to complete certain tasks, so rather than be upset that the line art isn't done, I know that it takes me a while longer to do that. Overall, it's a very good exercise that I recommend for other comic book artists who want to test their abilities or just give themselves a challenge. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know if you want to see me draw more comic books in an unreasonably short amount of time. I'll see you in the next one. Be sure to maybe like and subscribe. Yeah.